Games in just a moment. Green Bay East against Sheboygan North. That will be followed by Nicolay against Racine Case. We've played 2 games here already at this year's state tournament. Division III semifinals this morning. It was St. Croix Falls beating Howard's Grove 56-41. Torrey Greenquist with 20 points for the Saints. And Auburndale, behind 2 points and 10 rebounds from Dale Owie, beat Dodgeville 75-49. But as we said, now time for the Division I field to get its first look here at the Fieldhouse. Calling the game between Green Bay East and Sheboygan North, Chris Roth and Pat Hammond. Chris, 2 teams that are very familiar with each other, right?
Yeah, Jay, they both come from the same conference. They've met twice already this year, Coach, and it was a 29-point win for Sheboygan North and a 31-point win for Sheboygan North. They come in here the top-ranked team, and they're out to prove it.
Well, an excellent basketball team. They're rated number 1 all season long. They're number 2 last year. I think like 48 or 49-2 the last 2 seasons. Excellent basketball team.
Now, East comes in the same conference, but with the Conference Player of the Year, Matt Oslickson, and they will count heavily on him today.
Well, he's a fine player. Like you said, he's a Player of the Year in the league. But, you know, the third time around, anything can happen in the third game. We have 2 contrasting styles. Of course, Sheboygan wants to get up and down the floor, and East kind of wants to take their time. And they both play man-to-man defense, so it should be a good matchup.
Jay, they say the third time's always tough to beat a team, so it's a blessing or a curse, depending on how you look at it, and we'll know in a couple hours what it's going to be.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that develops. We'll be back in just a moment with the starting lineups and the play-by-play story, but first a word from our statewide sponsors, Menards, Marshfield Clinic, and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. This is your WIAA Network station. Just about set now for the Division I quarterfinals. First up will be Sheboygan North, the Golden Raiders, coming in at 22-1. They are ranked number 1 in the final coaches poll. They've been there all season long. They'll be taking on the Red Devils of Green Bay East. East coming in 20-3. This is their first trip ever to the state tournament here in Madison. Sheboygan North making their 6th trip. The last time was back in 1991 when they lost in the semifinals to Tosa East. Both schools from the Fox River Valley Association. North finishing first in the conference, and Green Bay East finishing second. This will be the 3rd meeting, but for you to meet the players, let's go over now to public address announcer Jack Brain.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the 78th annual WIAA Boys State Basketball Tournament. Here are the starting lineups for this afternoon's first Division I quarterfinal game. For the Red Devils of Green Bay East, at forward, a 6'2" senior, number 33, Lance Alt. For the Golden Raiders of Sheboygan North, at forward, a 6'1" senior, number 31, Chad Renzelman. For Green Bay East, a 6'3" sophomore, number 45, Pete McGee. For Sheboygan North, a 6'3" senior, number 35, Steve Dahmer. In the middle, for Green Bay East, a 6'5" senior, number 35, Matt Oslickson. At center for Sheboygan North, a 6'8" senior, number 51, Nathan Schremeyer. The guards, for Green Bay East, a 6'3" junior, number 25, Kevin Ohm. For Sheboygan North at guard, a 6' senior, number 3, Brad Volko. For Green Bay East, a 5'11" senior, number 31, Barry Vidgen. And for Sheboygan North, a 6'2" senior, number 25, Mark Schmidt. The Green Bay East Red Devils are coached by Steve Kessley.
Here is the field for the 1993 Boys Division I brackets. Green Bay East coming from the Fox River Valley Association, and just down the road a bit, Sheboygan North. 2 teams very familiar with one another. Coach Pat Hammond, and this is meeting number 3, so both teams know what they need to do to win.
Well, that's right, Chris, and I had a chance to talk to both coaches yesterday, and I talked to Coach Kessley. He felt there's a couple keys to this basketball game. Number 1 is they got to limit their turnovers, and number 2, they got to try and eliminate the second shots. And of course, with Sheboygan, it's the rebounding as well.
Well, North will get the first crack at it. This is Mark Schmidt working with Nathan Schremeyer, Steve Dahmer, Chad Renzelman, and Brad Balto. And Renzelman goes right away for three. The rebound to Lance Alf of the Red Devils.
Now both teams opened up, Chris, now in a man-to-man defense. We'll see that pretty aggressive all afternoon by both teams.
Pass picked off by Balto. Out on the run, but tipped away again by the Red Devils. And Barry Pigeon has it for East.
I think you'll see right now, you'll see East be fairly patient on offense.
Oh, nice look inside, but Pete McGee couldn't convert. Take you right into the action right away here at the Fieldhouse.
Both teams, Chris, going to run a little motion offense now. Pretty well four-man motion with a post player inside.
First shot of the game goes to Steve Dahmer from about 15 feet, and North leads at 2-zip. Pressure all the way from East. Pete McGee out ahead of the field, but that's not what he's supposed to do, so he does the wise thing, and they'll reload.
It's a key to the game right there. There's no way East can get in the running game with Sheboygan. They're just too talented, and East has to play their game.
Barry Pigeon gives it off to Lance Alf. This is Pete McGee. Kevin Ohm back to Pigeon.
Again, East will run a motion offense ball, pretty much a four-man motion with a single post.
This is Matt Ozickson, the Fox River Valley Association Player of the Year. Right here, number 35. Good start for him.
Great start for him. You know, again, he's the Player of the Year. He's been all conference, in fact, 2 years in a row now.
And a turnover for North. Lance Alf got right up and under Mark Schmidt, and he ran him over, so it's a turnover, the first of the game for North.
Well, again, that's what Coach Kessley felt, that he had a hold of. His turnovers around 10 to 15, where the two games they played before, they had 17 turnovers and 29 turnovers.
Well, there's turnover number one for Green Bay East. Renzelman picks off the pass. Schmidt pushing hard against Lance Alf. Rebound to Schremeyer back up. Short. Long. And a rebound to Ozickson, and then a foul on Steve Dahmer.
Oh, they had some good shots. I think right now, Chris, what we're seeing is that both teams are pretty tight. You know, I had a chance to talk to Coach Desautel, and he said it's kind of like playing indoors and outdoors when you play down here versus the rest of the season.
East gets the ball across. A little touch foul on Renzelman.
Well, you know, that little hand check right there, and it's been a point of emphasis. WIE sent a letter out about, probably the middle of January about trying to clean up the play in the post area and also hand checking out front, and that's what you saw right there.
So the officials tell the players how it's going to be done today, and they have to adjust.
We're in the final eight, Chris. I think you can pretty well make the adjustment.
Shot long for Ozickson. Schremeyer the rebound, and here come the Golden Raiders on the push. Dahmer swings it to Balco. Renzelman top of the key, three.
Well, one thing about him, he's got something like 79 three-point shots for the season. He's a heck of a shooter.
79 three-point shots. You are correct. And it's a 5-2 Raiders lead, and here comes another turnover for East. Yep. And that's exactly what you talked about.
Well, you know, like I said, they had 17 the first time and like 27 the second, and I think they're second or third turnover right now, and they just have to try and control that.
Schmidt to Balco. Back to Mark Schmidt. Trying to look inside for Schremeyer. The big 6'8" guy is going to have plenty of attention this afternoon.
Well, you know, he's a heck of a basketball player. He's got a scholarship to UWM, and he's a fine player, and he's 6'8".
Well, he got away with putting the ball on the floor. Kevin Ohm reached in and picked up the foul.
Well, you know, other than Schremeyer, both teams match up pretty well in size, Chris. They're all about 6 feet to about 6'3", 6'4".
Both teams do very well on the glass. East out-rebounds their opponents. North the same, and both by a good margin. Renzelman, reload jumper, no good. Gets it back. Muscles it up, but I think a jump ball is going to be called, and that will go to Green Bay East.
Again, Sheboygan's getting a lot of good shots. We just can't quite hit them, and again, that's a sign of being nervous, I believe.
5-second call against East, and there's another turnover, so that's 4 now on the Red Devils.
Well, again, like I said, Coach Kessler is worried about that. And again, they're nervous, too. And the first game of the tournament, we've been there a number of times. They just have to relax and kind of feel each other out the first few minutes.
Renzelman, nope. Rebound goes to Mark Schmidt. Now Dahmer tries. That's no good. And the Red Devils grab it.
East is doing a nice job on the boards right now.
More turnovers than points in this game. As both teams, while they're familiar with one another, playing down in the field house, like you said, Pat, it's a whole different ball game. And it takes a little while to get the nerves out of there. Goose ball wrestled for, and a nice play by Dahmer. Heads up, throwing it off. Matt Oslickson, who was laying out of bounds.
Real nice play. Heads up play, boss. Again, now that's your 5th turnover here.
5-2 Golden Raiders over the Red Devils. Dahmer, nice pass to Schremer, and he missed another bunny. He's missed 3 close-range shots.
East needs to now, Chris, get a shot at the basket. He just simply haven't had any shots at the basket with those 4 or 5 turnovers.
Pigeon for 3. That's strong. Renzelman tips it around and grabs it. And there's a push.
Now they want to push the ball up the floor. That's what Sheboygan's keys. They want to get the ball up and down the floor.
Falco lost it on the way up, and another turnover. Alt swings it inside to McGee, and he scores.
Beautiful pass. Beautiful pass.
Schremer spins and puts the ball down, and he loses it again. They tie him up, but this time it'll stay with Sheboygan North.
Well, you mentioned before, Chris, about he put the ball on the floor and got away with it, and that time he didn't get away with it.
No, and it'd be interesting to see what they say to him now on the bench as he checks out along with Renzelman into the game. Adam Ozapowski, 41, and how'd you like to be bringing a 6'7" guy off the bench?
Well, you know, he started early in the season when Schremer was hurt. And, of course, he's averaged almost 9 points a game, too, so... You know, Sheboygan has like 4 kids averaging in double figures, and another boy averaging 8, 8.5, and so they're very, very balanced. We're about 8, 9 players deep.
Yeah, he'll go 9, he says, for sure in the first half. After that, he'll see who plays well. Eric Kahns, who checked in, he loads up a 3, a little bit strong.
Well, again, he's the 2nd leading scorer for Sheboygan on 3-point shots. So he does really a nice job, and a little pressure by Sheboygan. Sheboygan wants to pick the tempo of the game up. And
oh, what a rainbow jumper by Oslickson. 4 points for him, and Green Bay East has the lead. Kahns again for 3. Yep.
Was in a game about 35 seconds, and he knocks a 3-point play down.
Gets 2 shots, too, that quick. So 8-6, the Golden Raiders, and here comes the pressure. They will push, push, push. They just want to wear you out.
Well, they got the players. They got like 8, 9. They're much deeper than Green Bay East.
Baseline shot no good for Oslickson. Steve Van Lanen is in the game for East, number 55. Schmidt on the push, and Van Lanen gets the foul.
I think Oslickson has to just relax a little bit. He appears a little nervous out there right now, and the longer he plays, I think the better off he'll be.
Schremer's rest lasted all of about 40 seconds, but we'll all take a rest here with Sheboygan North leading 8-6 here in the first quarter of our first Division I boys quarterfinal, and the 78th annual Boys State Championships will continue after this message from our statewide sponsor, Cenex Land O'Lakes. This is your WIAA network station. Along with Pat Hammond here at the field house, where the beat is cranking up a little bit as we get into the Division I quarterfinals. Sheboygan North and Green Bay East leading 8-6. There you see Tom Desitel in his 16th year at the helm of the Golden Raiders of Sheboygan North. And right now the field goal shooting, Tom's team getting a lot of shots, but not converting very many.
Well, again, that's the first game jitters, opening afternoon session, and both teams are much better shooting teams than what they're doing right now.
But Kahns puts up another shot. That one no good. Schremer, no, Ozapowski the rebound. So Tom Desitel going with the twin tower alignment, if you will, with 6'7" Adam Ozapowski and 6'8" Nathan Schremer, and it pays off in a rebound basket for Ozapowski.
Full court pressure now by Sheboygan, again trying to pick up the tempo.
Pigeon tries to get it to Oslickson, and here comes Schmidt. Oh, he double dribble. We were about to see our first dunk of the game, I think.
I think so. I think so.
So we'll put that one back in the holding pattern, and I'm sure we'll see it later.
That's a break for East right there, because you know, they're down 4 right now. They'd have been 6, and Sheboygan just can't quite get the momentum on their side. East is hanging in there, and if they get a few more shots, I think it'll be.
This is Kurt Van Ryzen, number 51, into the game for Oslickson. Lance Alt also back into the lineup.
You see Easby very patient. Now it's a motion offense, a lot of movement, a lot of passing, screening.
Alt working against Brad Balco. McGee gives it to Van Lanen. Oh. The Sheboygan North fans chanting boring. They want to pick up the tempo. Kick ball will stay with Green Bay East.
Well, again, you know, we talked about in the opening tip. It's contrasting styles, and this is what got Green Bay East here, and they're not going to change.
Well, having played them twice this year and losing by an average of 30 points in both games, they know better than to run up and down the court with this team. Coming up on a minute 15 here in the opening quarter, and it's just 10-6 Sheboygan North. Olm misfires, and here comes the Raiders on the push. Schmidt up court in a hurry to Renzelman, couldn't track it down in time. Pass inside to Schremer, tipped away. It'll stay with Sheboygan North. Oslickson coming back into the game for the Red Devils.
I think one thing East was doing is a pretty good move. They were trying to get some time off the clock and give Oslickson a little rest. It's pretty fast pace right now for East, and they got away with about a minute there, minute and a half, a good rest for them, got it back to the basketball game. Again, man-to-man defense now employed by Green Bay East, which is their bread and butter.
Schmidt's first shot of the game off target. Inside of a minute now in the opening quarter. Very patient Green Bay East attack so far.
Again, you see a four-man motion. They're trying to get the ball to Oslock. So I think he has to get on track here a little bit now.
There they get the pass inside to him. He dumps it back outside to McGee. Short on the jumper, tipped around, and it's going to stay with Green Bay East with 21.3 to go. And two more subs coming in for the Golden Raiders. David Richter and Eric Kahns back into the game. And Schmidt and Balco sit down.
And Brian Pidgeon, who came in the game now, too, for East. And Pidgeon, the one that had 13 points in the finals, and I'm up in the Green Bay sectional.
Nice pass inside to Olm, having trouble tracking it down. Now goes up strong against the towers, tipped around. The Raiders have it with 10 seconds. Renzelman for three, way off. Lance Elf shot at the buzzer, won't go, and that'll end the first quarter. Both teams still feeling it out a little bit here in their opening game at the 1993 state tournament. North leads at 10-6, and we'll be back with more after a word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station. We'll go all the way through Saturday night in this 1993 state tournament. You take a look at the first quarter shooting, not very good for either team right now. Two teams, as we said, have played each other twice before this season, so they know what to expect. But again, playing in the field house takes a little while to get your feet under you. We'll see if it picks up now in the second quarter.
Like Coach Jessitel said, playing down here versus playing in the regular season, like playing indoors and outdoors. Two different type basketball games. But the score right now is definitely in East's favor, you know, as far as the game, the control, the tempo of the game.
That goes in East's favor. Lance Alt, the three-pointer. Number one on the team in that department. 28 on the year, 38% from beyond the arc. 10-9 Sheboygan North.
Yeah, man-to-man employed by East here.
Richter to Eric Kahns.
East doing a nice job defensively right now. They're grabbing the perimeter, and they're helping each other out very well. And they got good ball pressure. And
shot no good, and here come the Red Devils with a chance at the lead. Inside Oslickson, a nice move.
Nice move, a nice pass. Nice bounce pass over the post.
Didn't take him a whole lot of time to get that shot off either.
No, you can see why he's player of the year. He's fine playing.
Renzelman for three. Nope. Big collision, and the foul's going to go on Ozapowski.
Well, you can sort of... Go ahead.
Take a look at the long rebound off the Renzelman miss. Ozapowski just cutting under, Lance off.
One thing, too, that East has done a pretty good job. The last about 2.5 minutes of the first quarter, and so far right now, they've given one shot.
Oslickson streaking into the end zone and knocks it home, and East leads it by 3. 8 points for Matt Oslickson. Schmidt fouled on the way up.
That last play was made possible. A lot of full court pressure by Sheboygan, and they kind of loosened up the long pass, and the guy's open. And, you know, they changed the rule a couple years ago, Chris.
Off the...
East foul, number 33, Lance.
Now there was the foul. Reminder, the WIAA state tournament brought to you statewide by the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board and by the people who produce milk, as Eric Kahn produces a three-pointer. The Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin, milk is the official beverage of the WIAA games, and Eric Kahn's had his before the game. We're tied at 13. That ended a 7-0 run by Green Bay East.
Good motion offense by East, man-to-man defense by Sheboygan North here.
And a long time between baskets for North, and now they'll come back in a hurry. They've gone 4 minutes without a point. Schmidt on the drive. Kicks it out to Renzelman. Back to Dahmer. They swing it across to Kahns. Renzelman comes again from that spot. Well, Kevin Olm got a piece of him, but no call, and East has the ball.
The difference there now, East got back to the basket and in fact took the lead, was that they were not turning the ball over. That's their first turnover in a few minutes.
Pigeon thought about loading it up. Olm on the drive, kisses it off the glass.
Nice move, real nice move.
First two of the game for Kevin Olm. The Red Devils lead it by 2. Inside, Dahmer working against Oslickson. And who's the foul on? It might be on Nathan Schremeyer, clearing out for the offensive rebound. Let's take a look at it.
One foul on number 51, Nathan Schremeyer.
The bench is screaming about Sheboygan North bench. Very unhappy with that. I'm not sure what their beef is. As East gets another 5-second call against them, so it's another turnover. Turnover number 7.
I'm not sure either, Chris, what
I didn't get that either. They were saying he was shooting the ball, but the foul was on him clearing out for the rebound.
For East, number 41, Matt.
They called him for a push-off. Schremeyer did go out of the game. Drop pass into Ozapowski, tracked down by Dahmer. You get a great look at it from behind the basket up in the upper deck here at the field house.
Then you see the defense are sort of sagging off now, making them take the outside shot.
Eric Kahns hits another 3.
Eric Kahns for 3.
Kahns, great player coming off the bench for Sheboygan. Again, one thing about Kahns, he's averaging 10 points a game.
And they haven't put it on the scoreboard. We did, but they have not here at the field house. And now they only give him 2, and now they get it straightened out. 16-15, the North lead. 4:43 to go here in the opening half. Tough man-to-man defense here by North.
Great defensive pressure.
Oh, but a sweet look inside from Oslickson to Barry Pigeon. And the All-State second baseman knocks it home.
Well, you know, the tempo is right where East wants it. They're very patient, and they're breaking right now. Sheboygan down a few times. And the longer this game goes on, you can just see the East kids are playing with much more confidence.
Schmidt still doesn't have a bucket.
Oh, and he's averaging 15 a game, too, so...
Tied for scoring honors on the team at 15.
See a lot of movement, a lot of screening for East here now in the motion offense, and nice job of passing and cutting. And
baseline and count it. Oh, Schmidt got him on the way by, and with some nice hang time puts it away.
Great move, great concentration. Anytime they've been a shot like great concentration. Goes up, got him on the wrist, and followed through and kept eyes on the rim and hit her.
So a couple of subs in before Lance Off goes to the three-point play. Schremeyer is going to come back into the game, as is Kevin Olm. Brad Bulko is going to come back in. Schmidt goes out. It looked to me during that sequence on the defensive end that some of the North players actually looked a little tired, and Schmidt was one of them, and he was chasing from behind on that shot.
Now, you know, they've been trying to put full court pressure on all the time, Chris, and they need to use a lot of players when they do that.
But they do it all season long, so maybe just a little high-strung right here in the opening half. Kahns for three. Nope. Schremeyer try to get back up there with it. He's going to get the foul.
One thing, too, Chris, about the players getting a little tired, the floor is 10 feet longer than it is in high school. You know, and after a while, you're excited, and plus having an extra 10 feet each time, back and forth.
Pete McGee picked up the foul, number 45, also into the game, 41, down there mixing it up a little bit. Matt Vandenhooten into the game for the first time. Oslickson will check back in, and just as we give Matt Vandenhooten a little airplay, he goes back to the bench.
All we're trying to do is just give Oslickson a little break here and rest, because they need him in the boards.
So Schremeyer goes to the line. You see his field goal shooting, 64%, 12 points a game, 9 rebounds a game. He's been on varsity for 3 years. He played down here when they lost to Tosa East in the semifinals 2 years ago.
That's right. He's won 3 conference championships besides them.
2 free throws, and the lead is 1 for Green Bay East with 3:29. Oslickson again streaking long. Dahmer catches him from behind. Would have been a good play, except he stepped on the end line.
Nice hustle from to prevent that basket. He had Oslickson was going to have a basket there, and made a nice play. Dahmer gets to prevent from scoring.
Ozapowski back into the game. Dahmer will sit. Here on David Richter, working on Oslickson, going for the steal.
Yeah, Coach Desautel won't like that. That was a very good position to move his speed a little more, and picked up sort of a dumb foul there.
Green Bay East has moved that to a 5-point lead, 21-16.
Well, the big key right now is Coach Desautel told us yesterday they want to kid something off the press, and right now they're not getting any. A lot of turnovers early in the game, but I think East has about 1 turnover in the last 6 or 7 minutes, and that's long to stay in the game.
East into the bonus, but Oslickson can't convert on the front end. Richter races up court with it. Kahn steps in, double clutch, no good. Rebound to Steve Van Lanen. Now East having some problem with it. They get it across the timeline to Pete McGee.
They spread the floor well now. There's a lot of room to work.
Interior pass tipped away. The Raiders on the run. Kahns into the lane and scores.
That's what Sheboygan does best right there. Got the ball on the floor, scored in about 3 seconds.
Oh, and another turnover. North off the press after the made basket by Eric Kahns. He's got 11 off the bench.
Well, you know, we talked about he's a senior and he's averaging 10 points a game in double figures. That doesn't start.
So now it looks like Desautel is going to crank up the pressure a little bit, taking the 2 big guys out, Adam Ozapowski and Nathan Schremeyer, and going to go a little bit quicker and see if he can force some more turnovers and actually turn those into some points. North has raced back out on top, 20-19. Interior pass converted by Kahns. He's got 13. I don't know what kind of shoes he's wearing. No, he's wearing Nikes. Another turnover taken right back by Van Lanen, picked up by Kevin Olm. Oslickson open.
About the time that we talked about the turnovers, they had a few more. Now they came back and got the ball inside of the.
Well, there's some confusion in the score. It is 22-21, Sheboygan North. They had given 2 points to Green Bay East earlier that should not have counted. So it's 22-21, Sheboygan North. Kahns, one of the few he's missed, but Dahmer's going to go back up with it, blocked from behind by Kevin Olm.
I wouldn't be surprised to say East now just hold it almost for one shot at the end of the half. Unless you get really a great shot inside the lane.
A minute 26 to go. That's a long time to hold the ball against a pressure defense.
They're going to try and break Sheboygan down right now. They got good spacing, though. One thing about East, they have real good spacing as far as passing the ball, and they're trying to double, but they haven't much luck right now.
Now they get it to Oslickson on the block. Little jump hook. In and out. Dahmer the rebound. He works hard on the board, and whoa. He sent Pete McGee to the floor with an elbow, no call. On the other end, shot no good. Scramble for it. Oslickson grabbed it, tried to call a timeout, but they'll call a jump ball, and it'll go to the Golden Raiders with 45.2 left in the half, and the Green Bay East fans not real thrilled about what happened down here on this end of the floor.
What I think what happened is that the officials just simply got screened out, and they were going, and I don't know if it was as bad as it looked, but they got the fans fired up from Green Bay East anyway.
Whatever works, right?
There you
Take
go.
one for the team.
There you go.
22-21, North on top. Bolkow. Stripped away by Olm, but taken back by Renzelman. His pass knocked out of bounds.
I tell you, the Green Bay East kids are playing excellent defense. They're getting a hand on the ball. They're deflecting some passes. And you can just tell, Chris, that the longer they play together right now, you know, it's a 22, 21, 27 seconds to go. Exactly what Coach Kessley wanted. Exactly.
East knows that all the pressure is on the Golden Raiders coming into this tournament ranked #1, and most people's pick as the favorite, at least entering the tournament. Kahns. Rebound, Schremeyer, and he scores it, and foul.
It was a simple case. It did the size, went over the top, and just got the rebound and put it back in.
Number 35, Matt Oslickson.
Schremeyer missed a couple close ones early, but this one gets it to go.
Nice rebound. You got a nice touch inside, makes the basket.
Schremeyer looking for his third free throw in the game, no good. And East trailing by 3 with the time remaining you see on your screen. Oh, and a turnover. North is going to try and get it before the end of the half. Bolkow scoop shot no good, but he's fouled.
What they did there in the backcourt, they sort of doubled the basketball a little bit, and of course forced another turnover.
After the turnover, so Bolkow will go to the line.
That was a big turnover right there. There's some big free throws there right now.
Brad, a senior, will go to Marquette University next year on an academic scholarship. 2 free throws for him. The lead is 5 with 9.4 left to go here in the opening half.
Here comes the pressure again by Sheboygan now as they turn the last turnover.
Pigeon for 3. Oh, that's a big lift. A big lift for Green Bay East as they go to the locker room. Barry Pigeon, the three-pointer. And it's 26-24, Sheboygan North. And the Red Devils of Green Bay East. North leads it by 2. And we'll be back with more tournament action after these messages from our statewide sponsors, Rural Insurance and Menards. This is your WIAA network station. The top-ranked Sheboygan North Golden Raiders with just a 2-point lead on Green Bay East. A little bit surprising because in the first game this year, North beat Green Bay East 75-44, and in game 2, they beat them 82-53. So 2 teams familiar with one another, but this not a familiar result. Chris Roth and Pat Hammond with you here at halftime of our first Division I quarterfinal. And if you look at the scoring right now, Coach, this favors Green Bay East.
There's no doubt about that. You know, the thing about the game, Chris, you know, Coach Kessley called it before the game when he said there were a couple keys to the game. Number 1, he wanted to limit his turnovers. Number 2, he wanted to limit their second shots. They did a great job of. And number 3, they had to maintain their composure. Now, they've done that for the most part. On the other hand, Sheboygan has not been able to get
their running game established. You know what I'm saying? They want to get up and down. They can't do that. That's a credit to Coach Kessie and his defense.
They haven't been able to get into the flow, and we'll take a look back at some of the highlights and statistics, break it down a little bit more for you. But first, let's go across the court to Jay Wilson.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Well, it's a beautiful sunny day here in Madison. Hope you're having a good day wherever you're watching us along the WIA television network. Weather, of course, always a factor during the boys state tournament. Right now with the forecast and a look at travel conditions, here's Bob Lindmeyer from Channel 27 Weather Central.
Good afternoon. This is Weather Central meteorologist Bob Lindmeyer with a look at Wisconsin weather for the rest of the week. As you know, it's been sunny and cold lately, but that's all about to change. In the next 24 hours, there will be some snow falling across the Badger State. The satellite view still shows clear skies over most of Wisconsin, but just to the south of the state, there's lots of cloud cover. And with that cloud cover, there has been a mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and snow falling over much of the Central Plains region. Here's our current weather picture. High pressure is now moving off to the east. As it does so, we will see a storm center come in just to the north of Montana. You'll notice that snow across much of Nebraska, southwestern Iowa, western Missouri. That's what's going to head our way. The next 24 hours, the storm center will move across the Wisconsin and United States border. It will be centered just to the north of Lake Superior later in the day tomorrow. I think the heaviest snow will stay close to the storm center. Here in Wisconsin, I'm not looking for heavy snow accumulation. Nonetheless, occasional light snow will fall throughout the day. We should miss out on any mixed precipitation, though. Any freezing rain and sleet should stay to the south of the Badger State. Our forecast goes like this. Tonight, there will be increasing cloudiness. Light snow will be developing late in western portions of the state. Lows will be in the teens to around 20. Tomorrow's forecast, there will be occasional light snow falling statewide. I am looking for slippery spots and stretches to develop on the roadways, especially later in the day. Several inches of snow accumulation is possible. By tomorrow night, that snow will be tapering off. On Saturday, the light snow should be ending early in eastern Wisconsin. That will be followed by clearing skies. Highs should be in the 30s to around 40. So travel conditions on Saturday will improve considerably. This is Weather Central meteorologist Bob Lindmeyer with a look at Wisconsin weather.
All right, Bob, thanks a lot. Earlier this morning in Division III semifinals, St. Croix Falls beat Howards Grove 56-41. Then it was Auburndale 75, Dodgeville 51. Right now, our Division I quarterfinal game has Green Bay East trailing Sheboygan North 26-24. Right after this one, another Division I quarterfinal game as Nicolay will play Racine Case. Coming up this evening, 7 o'clock on the WIA State Tournament Network, it'll be Madison West against Bayview. And that will be followed by yet another Division I quarterfinal, Milwaukee, Washington against Stevens Point. So a busy day still to come. Our first of three here at the 78th Annual Boys State Basketball Tournament. Back with more in a moment, but first this word from the WIAA. This is your WIAA network station. Today on the WIAA State Tournament Network, a look ahead to tomorrow morning's action in Division IV semifinals. 9:30 in the morning, Cassville against South Shore. That will be followed by Albany against Wasaukie. Tomorrow afternoon's Division II lineup in the semifinals has Baraboo against Seymour and Mayville against Rice Lake. A reminder that coming up between games here this afternoon in the Division I quarterfinals, we'll talk live with Donald Pierce, the president of the WIAA Board of Control, and also a chat with former Wisconsin Governor Warren Knowles. Some interesting sidelights he has to tell us about the history of the state boys basketball tournament. That's all coming up. But right now, a look back at the first half of Sheboygan North and Green Bay East. Here's Chris Roth and Pat Hammond.
All right, thanks very much, Jay Wilson. Always the best seat in the house for Jay Wilson wherever he goes here. Let's take a look back at some of the first half highlights now. It's been a much closer game than I think we anticipated, and Green Bay East has really been able to play their tempo and get the shots where they needed to get the shots.
They did an excellent job of that. Of course, now we hear Oslockson, the leading scorer and player of the year in the Fox River Valley, and a nice jump shot there, a three-point play, and you can see he's fired up. They come down again, another pass to him, one dribble, nice foul through, nice snap with the wrist, right through the basket. Great concentration for him.
Oslockson in the first half, 10 points and 4 rebounds, and doing it on the perimeter and then doing it in the paint.
Right, nice little shot on the inside off the glass.
Great balance for the Golden Raiders coming in, but so far the scoring leader has been Eric Kahns off the bench with 13 points, and they were coming from a variety of places.
That's right, outside shot, in the lane, drives. You know, he's averaging 10.3 points a game. He's got 13 already in the first half, and he didn't start like you mentioned.
Yeah, he averages, what, 10 points a game off the bench, as you said. Second on the team in threes, but can also take it to the rack, as you saw there. He's got 13 points and 1 rebound. But then right before the half, Barry Pigeon, the three-pointer to make the lead within 2. So that's where we are now, 26-24. And here come the statistics with a little style. Field goal shooting, much in the favor of Green Bay East.
That's right. You know, it should 55% to 32%. Only been at the free throw line twice, but again,
yeah, 7 times in the whole game.
Both teams, that's right. 0 for 2 and 4 for 5. And of course, again, we look down at the bottom. The turnovers are 10. That's where Coach Keswick kind of want to have it 10 to 15 for the game. But again, it came in spurts. The beginning game, once they settled down, they weren't too bad.
Leading scorers in the game, Eric Kahns has 13, all off the bench for Sheboygan North. So they need to push it up to their tempo a little bit here in the second half. The East wants to keep it right where it's at. This is the pace they need. We'll be back to see which way it goes after these messages from our local stations. The second half coming your way. This is your WIAA network station. Sheboygan North, as we get set to start the third quarter with just a 2-point lead and just 26 points. Kind of shocking for the top-ranked Division I team. They average 82 points a game. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, Green Bay East averages 59, and they give up about 50. So, as we've said, this pace right now in the favor of Green Bay East as they try and do something they have not been able to do in 2 games earlier this year, and that's knock off the Golden Raiders.
Well, their ball to start the second half now, East, and I think the longer they play, the more confidence they're going to get in, and perhaps the more frustrated and a little tight maybe Sheboygan might get. So I think the first 2-3 minutes of the second half are going to be very key to the basketball game.
And we'll put you right back on the floor of the field house in a hurry here in the second half. Nice up-court pass to Oslickson. And the game is tied, and Oslickson has 10 points. Make it 12.
Again, Green Bay East opens up the man-to-man defense. Great help on the basketball.
And finally, Mark Schmidt gets a basket. The leading scorer gets his first 2 of the game as we open the second half.
You see a double team the basketball here now. Pressure. Get the ball in the middle of the floor, and they can work both sides.
Pass tipped right back into the hands of Lance Off with the rebound to Schremeyer.
That was made possible by Schremeyer in the lane there. He kind of changed his shot a little bit and forced sort of a bad shot.
Schremeyer tries to get to the Dahmer. It's taken away by McGee. Kevin Olm.
Maybe he's got the numbers there. Good hustle by Schmidt. 35 got back and knocked it out of bounds. Excuse me, Dahmer knocked it out of bounds.
Has back got a little advantage here.
And good hustle by Dahmer, knocks the ball out of bounds.
So East down by 2. Opening minutes of the third quarter. Oslickson fumbles it away. Get a good look as Mark Schmidt blocks it across the timeline for the Golden Raiders. Talking to the players yesterday, they're not real concerned with that #1 ranking. They've had it all year long. They said it was a curse maybe back in January, but at this point in the year, it doesn't really matter. They're taking the approach. They respect every team. They don't think they're better than anyone. They just have confidence they can play with anybody.
Well, you know, they rated #2 last year, too, so they've been pretty used to the rankings.
Had a lot of success over the past couple of years as Dahmer knocks in the 15-footer, and it's a 30-26 North lead.
Get full court pressure now by Sheboygan. Oh, might have a jump ball here.
And we do have a jump ball, and possession arrow favors the Golden Raiders. Renzelman tying up Lance Alt. Alt with a good all-around first half. 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Yes, of course, he's a 13 score average and about 9.5 points a basketball game.
Schreemeyer's drop step fouled by Kevin Olm.
Number 45, Kevin Olm.
3 fouls on Kevin Olm. Schremeyer to the free throw line. 2 out of 3 so far this afternoon.
Olm's kind of the leader on offense. He's a great penetrating guard. He's bigger than most guards. He has the ability to see over a lot of people, handles the basketball very well. They can't afford to lose him.
Kevin Olm, team leader in assists, team leader in steals, and at 6'3", the team leader in blocks. Trains for a point guard to lead a team in blocks, but he does. Schremeyer knocks home his 3rd free throw.
He's got something, Chris. He has like 155 assists during the season. It's just unbelievable. But again, he sees it closer while being 6'3", handles the basketball. Number of college interested because he's only a junior.
1 out of 2 for Schremeyer. Balco had the rebound. Tipped away. Schmidt tries it. Schremeyer misses it, and Oslickson. We've got an Ozapowski and an Oslickson. It gets kind of confusing out here. And as I say it, Ozapowski gets off the bench and gets set to check back into the game.
Good thing you're from lacrosse. Remember all those names.
Entry pass to Oslickson. Thrown away.
Well, you know, he didn't have a real good angle there. You know, he could have taken the basketball a little bit, you know, off and create a little bit of pass angle to Oslickson, because Oslickson had his man beat in the post area, but he didn't have a real good lineup, and he bounced the basketball right out of bounds.
Schremeyer sits down, and one thing about Coach Dessatel, you make a mistake, you will come out.
Well, you know, he's got 9 players, and they're all excellent basketball players, and you make a mistake, he has the luxury to sit you down and make contact a little bit harder on the other end.
Well, maybe we'll see Ozapowski sit down as he got it taken away by Pete McGee. Oh, trapping defense, Schmidt, and kaboom! Mark Schmidt. That's what we thought we'd see in the first half, so he's out of the holding pattern.
That's right. They had the other one turn it over the first half, couldn't quite score, but that time he did.
That brings the crowd to its feet. Oslickson spinning into the paint and picks up the foul.
These are important free throws right now for East, Chris. They're kind of in a little rut right now, and they're not playing real well. And
let's see if we can get another look at the slam dunk. And as we asked, Alan Pierce, our director, delivers. Right into your face. Nicely done by Mark Schmidt, who's got a couple of colleges interested in him. Xavier of Ohio on an academic scholarship, St. Cloud State in basketball, Stetson of Florida, also the University of Maine. Wisconsin would like him to walk on as a player, but next year the Schmidt family will have 5 sons and daughters in college, so Mark will be looking for a scholarship somewhere.
Right, and the parents would gladly appreciate that, I'll tell you. Well, he came back, made a second free throw, get back within 6, which is important basketball because East hadn't scored for a while now.
Eric Kahns, who had a good first half, gets him up in the air, scores.
Boy, he's having a great basketball game. You know, he's really getting a lift. Without him, they'd really be behind right now.
15 points for Eric Kahns off the bench. Nice work breaking pressure, and Pigeon.
I brought it back out. That's their design. That's the way they play the game, and that's what they feel they have to do to win. And they're following Coach Kessler's game plan to a T, I think.
McGee taking it strong to the hole, picks up the foul. It's going to be on number 3, Bat Balco.
Nice rotation of the basketball. Went top to the side. Nice little shot fake, went right to the basket and drew the foul.
So Pete McGee, 55% on the year from the line. Misses the first one, which, if stats mean anything, maybe he'll make the second one.
Well, those are important, though. Those are free.
How about you as a coach? What do you think about statistics? We talk to a lot of coaches. Some don't like them, some do.
Well,
we like them, obviously. Helps makes our job easier.
Gives us something to talk about on TV. I think free throw percentages and the type of shots you're getting, I think, are important. But statistics can lie a lot, Chris. Then Sheboygan's in motion offense. I put about 4 perimeter players and an inside player.
They dared Steve Dahmer to shoot that shot.
That was a key to the game. And Coach Kelsey's trying to eliminate their second shots. They've done a pretty good job of that for the most part, except for Schremeyer. But, you know, he's much taller than some of these kids.
East trying to cut into an 8-point Sheboygan North lead. 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Sheboygan stepped up the defensive intensity a little bit here now in the third quarter. And some of the turnovers.
Oslickson got away, missed the shot, and Kahns knocked it out of bounds. Kurt Van Ryzen comes back into the game, number 51 for East.
One thing that they have to do right now, East is not doing a very good job of finishing their plays.
Schremeyer comes back into the game for Eric Kahns. Pigeon triggers the inbound. Off back to Pigeon.
Good ball pressure out front now by Sheboygan.
Now Schremeyer all over Steve Van Lane, number 55. Pigeon gets it tipped away. Then they chase him into the corner.
That's been the difference in the basketball game right now, especially the third quarter. Chris, it's just the defensive pressure by Sheboygan.
Alt, wide open three is no good. Ozapowski the rebound. Desitel wants his players down court even faster. Screaming at them to get into position.
You know, they're going to a bigger lineup now. They got both the 6'8" boys in the basketball game at the same time now.
Balkow's going to get another foul as he was over the back going for the offensive rebound. Well, that was interesting. Did you hear that? Yeah. Tom Desitel telling his players, you're not sweating, you're not working, you're not running the break.
Especially when you got a 94-foot floor. If you're not sweating, you're not working.
That's a pretty good sign of whether or not you're working.
Well, a good job. We've got to give East some credit here, too. You know, they got two kids 6'8", and they're giving pretty much Sheboygan one shot.
East gets it up the floor.
They have to convert on this end. So they got 3 points in the quarter, and that's the difference in the game. Getting some pretty good shots.
Wow, pretty move. Lance Alt, the reverse. 9 points for Alt.
And again, they kind of stand just where Coach Kessing wants them, like we said before. And
they'll hold as they try and work on Nathan Schremeyer. Let's take a look at the sweet move by Lance Alt.
Nice drive, baseline, reverse layup. 2 points.
That's Alt getting up in the air. We're going to take a timeout here. Sheboygan North leading it by 6, and we'll return to the field house and more action from the boys state basketball tournament after this word from our statewide sponsors, Marshfield Clinic and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. This is your WIAA network station. Sheboygan North leading it by 6. You get a good look. There he is, Eric Kahns, and we've talked about Sheboygan North's depth, and off the bench they've got 17 points. Eric right there has 15 of them, and the Red Devils have been shut out off the bench.
Well, that's the key to the game also, you know, with Coach Kessing.
It's only a 6-point lead for North, and they're getting 17 points off the bench, outscoring them by 17.
Well, you know, Khan's getting average in double figures, 10.3 a game, and second leading 3-point scorer. And that's what makes him so tough. That's why they've been rated #1 in the state all year.
So Van Ryzen gave Oslickson a little blow, and Matt back into the game.
They have to have him on the floor all the time. He's such a good offensive basketball player.
Schremeyer takes it strong to the basket, and that's what Tom Desitel wants to see. But somebody goofed up on the other end.
Well, they put the big boy on the ball out of bounds, and so he forgot to rotate back, and easy basket freezed.
Steve Van Lanen gets the easy one. Schmidt comes back and answers in a hurry.
Well, that was a good move. One thing about him, he's left-handed. He drove the baseline. He shot left-handed. You don't see that very much.
6 points for Schmidt, an 8-point lead, and a turnover by the Red Devils. You'll see it after the made basket. There it is.
What happened was Schremeyer was on the basketball there, right to you.
I got it.
Nobody rotated back. But the Presley is wide open.
Great work by Jay, our cameraman, down there in the end zone. Renzelman's three is off. Balkow trying to keep it alive and tipped out of bounds, belonging to Sheboygan North. And the foul's going to be on Pete McGee, trying to get around Schremeyer.
Schremeyer is becoming a lot more active in the post right now. He sort of wants the basketball more. So
I think he's sweating now.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Which means he's working, according to Coach Desitel. .128 here to go. Look at the lob to Schremeyer. Nicely done. Balkow to Schremeyer.
That was a set play.
10-point lead for North. I think that's the largest of the game.
Well, the key now, they've got outscored 15-6 here now, and starting in this third quarter, that's sort of been the difference.
You know, in the second game that these two teams played, which was won by North 82-53. Steve Kessley was telling us that, you know, they played with them for 3 quarters, and yet they wound up losing by 29 points.
Well, you know, Sheboygan is such an explosive basketball team.
This is the play that they called from out of bounds. Nicely done. Take us through this one, Coach.
Well, they got the ball in the wing. He threw it back out to the point, and came in and got on the back screen and lobbed it up to the basket. And of course, he's 6'8", and put her in. Nice screen reading by 25 there.
Mark Schmidt deserves much of the credit for that basket. 41-31. We're inside of a minute here in the third quarter. He's trying to hang with North, but that won't help.
Now, another one of those turnovers, and again, a big difference is Mark Schmidt's playing much more aggressive now on the defensive end of the floor. He got himself a basket, a little dunk, and he's playing much more confident, I think, the last 5 or 6 minutes here.
15 turnovers for Green Bay East. That's over their average of 13.5. And the foul is on Lance Oft, and he's losing some pain down there.
He got the wind
stepped on, or
he got the wind knocked down a little bit there on the drive.
WIAA State Tournament is brought to you statewide by your local Cenex Land O'Lakes co-ops, providing quality petroleum products, crop inputs, and livestock feeds. Inside of 30 seconds here in the third quarter.
There's a double team again at the 10-second line by the guards.
Mark Schmidt had knocked the ball away, but Chad Renzelman had made the foul. 3 foul on Chad Renzelman. So Kahns takes his place.
Pretty nice sub coming to the basketball game.
Oslickson tracks down the inbounds.
I think he's go for 1 shot here, Chris. 20-some seconds left. Let's get a really good shot in the lane. Try and get it to 8 or 7 by the end of the quarter.
Maybe Pigeon can knock down another 3 like he did at the end of the first half.
Oh, we got 6 seconds now, 5.
Here it comes. Short this time. Tipped out of bounds to Sheboygan North, so they'll have exactly 1 second. How many shots in a second?
One touch and a throw. Touch, throw.
Oh! Hey! It counts! Oh, it counts!
Did you see that? What did you say? How many shots in a second?
Oh!
I told you a touch and a shot. Bingo!
Don't ever doubt Pat Hammond. That
Sure.
counts.
Throw it again.
A touch, and there's the throw.
Yeah.
Nothing but net. Nathan Schremeyer, he's sweating now.
I know,
baby.
there it is.
Look at this
A
one.
touch, a throw, and she's good. Never a doubt, Chris. Never a doubt.
Oh, I find that very difficult to believe. What a way to end the third quarter. Sheboygan North leads it by 13, and we'll be back with more in a moment if we can top that one. But first, a word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station.
Here on Super 18 WVTV Milwaukee.
At the end of the first half, it was Barry Pigeon knocking down a 3 for Green Bay East, but at the end of the third quarter, and Steve Kessley, the head coach of the Red Devils, shaking his head because of what he saw at the end of the third quarter, and this was it. Wow. Nathan Schremeyer.
How many shots in 1 second? Need 1 like his home.
Oh, man.
Well, now this is a point possession right now for him. They'll be a little down, a little deflated because of that basket and so on.
Olm, nice drive. Count it. Kevin Olm.
Big basket. Big basket. It's back within 10. They still got to sold the basketball game.
So maybe not quite as dramatic as the 3-point play by Nathan Schremeyer, but certainly just as effective. Kevin Olm will go to the free throw line. 65% on the year. He's got 4 points in today's game.
One thing, too, you know, he talked an awful lot about Oslockson, but, you know, Kevin Olm was also first-team all-conference this year. He's a fine basketball player as well, and he's only a junior. Nice shot.
So that puts Green Bay East back within 10 here at the fourth quarter. Start of the fourth.
Again, still back to the man-to-man. I think you'll say Pulaski pretty much played, Green Bay talking about his father, Fred Kessie at Pulaski, pretty much man-to-man.
Schmidt leaves it off to Dahmer. They don't respect his outside abilities. They're laying way off him.
Well, you know, he's averaging 7 points a game. It looks like he might get most of his baskets on penetration or off the turnover. But
Or
really
rebound.
sagging off him.
He does a good job on the glass. Tipped away and stolen by Pete McGee. Oh, and Schmidt picked up the foul. I think that's 3 on Mark Schmidt. It is.
Well, that's good defensive help on the baseline down by Ohm, especially, and McGee, and forced the turnover right there.
Well, Balco comes back in for Renzelman.
Renzelman's had a tough afternoon so far. He's a little frustrated, and, you know, he just has to. He's a good basketball player. Just kind of regrouped his first game of the tournament and probably got the jitters a little bit. These are big free throws right now here by Ohm.
Green Bay East in the bonus.
It could be a big sign with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter yet.
Up court to Kahns. Back out to Dahmer.
Nice swing of the basketball. Down to the corner. Swung around.
Schmidt takes it inside strong, and that'll pay off.
Again, nice baseline move. And of course, he's left-handed. You go up, and all of a sudden he switches hands. You don't see many left-handers do that.
Mark Schmidt, the point guard, doing some damage down in the post.
Drives, right hand goes up, comes back, left hand uses the glass. 3-point play. Possible.
Schmidt, one of 9 seniors that get the minutes for this team, and in their high school career, a lot of them playing JV and sophomore, their record is 79-2.
That's just phenomenal.
The only losses coming last year in the sectional finals to Oshkosh North and Frank Secker, and this year in overtime to Tosa East. They were undefeated freshman and sophomore years. Nice outside three-pointer by Lance Alt.
No, we still got a 9-point game. We got a game here yet, Chris. I'll tell you what. These Green Bay East kids are really playing well.
12 points for Lance Alt, his second 3 of the afternoon. Had to picks up the defensive intensity a little bit for the Red Devils.
Oh, and that basket in the corner starting to look bigger all the time, I'll tell you that.
Schremeyer couldn't handle the pass from Kahns. It goes out of bounds. Renzelman will come back into the lineup, replacing Eric Kahns.
Good full court pressure now by Sheboygan.
Oh, a little miscommunication. Lance Alt went one way, and the inbounds went the other from Kevin Ohm.
Yeah, they had nobody breaking through the middle that time. He didn't have any outlets, so kind of down the floor and followed them. They should have been in. That hurts, because that's a turnover that you don't get a shot at the basket. They're down 9 with 5:50 to go.
Dahmer. A timeout called by Tom Desautels, as he does not like the way the offense is working in the half court for the Golden Raiders, and he lets them know about it. We'll step aside. 46-37. Sheboygan North on top, and we'll return after a message from our statewide sponsors, Rural Insurance and Menards. This is your WIAA network station. East, their first ever trip to the state tournament. Town extremely fired up. The school pretty excited to make their first trip, and as any first-year coach finds out, Steve Kessley said, it's a hectic time.
Oh, yeah, it's been a great time.
Absolutely.
Great time. Here, Coach Desautels about swing the basketball. That means get the ball from right one side of the floor to the other side of the floor and try and break the defense down.
Dahmer way short, but Schmidt cleans it up.
Nobody blocked him off. They got a shot, missed it. Nobody blocked off the boards. Now they're down 11 with 5:28 to go.
10 points for Mark Schmidt in the game, all in the second half, the senior point guard. Oh, breaking down everybody, and Pete McGee, oh, he had an easy shot, but he missed it. Well done by Kevin Ohm.
You know, he's got, we talked about before, he's got 155 assists during the season. That was a great pass, just didn't finish the play again. Again, East has had a number of times they've been able to finish the play. They need some nice plays, but they didn't quite finish and put the basketball in the hole. Keeps saying Pulaski, that's where they played at, and his dad coaches there and stuff, and Steve Coach played at Pulaski.
Steve's dad, a friend of yours?
I know Fred very well. Fred's coached 34 years and has lost like 6 straight years in the sectional finals.
Oh, nice lob pass inside. Balkow and Schremeyer connect again. 3 assists for Brad Balkow. The lead is 13 for Sheboygan North. That's the largest of the game for them.
Big possession right here now, Chris.
They've been hanging around that 10 mark, the Red Devils have.
They have a tough time at right there. They went kind of a tough spot at the beginning of the quarter here, but they can keep moving now. We have to probably get a 2 or 3 pointer here pretty soon.
Nice defense by Mark Schmidt. And then the turnover, tipped out of bounds. Well, Balkow tracked it down, but stepped on the end line.
One thing, too, I mentioned about Coach Kessler being a friend of mine is that this may have been about the only time in the state of Wisconsin that the father and his son played. They played against each other for the sectional championship over in Green Bay. And I know Mrs. Kessler had quite a time with that, you know, with her husband and then her son. So, but Steve's coached 4 years and Fred's coached like 34.
Schmidt blows right by off, leaves it for Dahmer, and the class valedictorian rates pretty high there. Nice layup.
Well, you know, he talked about he has 10 points this half, but he also leading the team in 7 assists for the year. So he's just a fine all-around basketball player.
Boy, Green Bay East has done a nice job of beating the pressure, but they have not been able to convert. The lead is 15.
No, but again, they're not getting a real good shot at the basket. Now we got 4 minutes to go.
Desitel shouts out to play. 16 turnovers for Green Bay East. The lead is 15 for Sheboygan North.
They're going to be Sheboygan North, be pretty patient now. A 15-point lead with 3:45 to go in a basketball game.
Still, this is a low-scoring game for Sheboygan North.
Well, I think, you know, right now, Coach Kessler's done everything he can to get his team in a position to win. He's done an excellent job with that. They did finish the plays off. But again, that 3-point play at the end of the quarter took some of the sail out of them, I think, and the wind out of their sails. And they played very, very hard here. And again, talent-wise, Sheboygan just has so much more talent than Green Bay East does. But Green Bay East, a bunch of scrappy kids, play good, sound defense, and had a great game plan.
Now they're really milking some time off the clock now.
We have to see some double teams pretty soon, maybe some fouls. But again, Sheboygan has great free throw shooters. I don't know who they want to really foul here.
Golden Raiders being very patient with the basketball. They've taken a minute off the clock now. We're inside of 3 minutes to go. Schmidt spinning to the hole. No good, but Schreymar cleans it up.
Yeah, big boy there in the glass, 6'8", puts it in. And, you know, he's averaging, you know, like 12, 13 points a basketball game.
And a timeout. Steve Kessler wants to talk it over as the Red Devils have fallen down by 17 with 2:43 to go. And we'll come back after a word from our statewide sponsors, the Marshfield Clinic and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. This is your WIAA network station. East trailing by 17. Steve Kessler and group talking it over.
Well, I think now, Chris, what you're going to see is that East now can score and they can put on some full court pressure. They're going to have to try and double team or trap the basketball because they're down 17 with 2:43. So they have to do something to sort of speed up the tempo and try and double team the basketball here.
Good defense by Sheboygan North, holding East to single digits in all but the second quarter so far.
Well, you know, they're going giving up 56 a game, and, you know, they don't hold the basketball, so.
Renzelman dials up a three and gets it. He connects. His second three of the game. He's got 6 points.
Well, it's something. He had one early and he got one now. He's got 79 for the season. And he's a much better basketball player. He played this afternoon. He'll probably save it for tomorrow.
Well, it's a 20-point lead for North. Oslickson answers. A 3 for a 3.
Well, full court pressure now by Green Bay East.
And Dahmer is fouled by Pete McGee, so Dahmer will walk down to the free throw line.
We're going to have to hope for a few misses now. They're down by 17. Hope for a few misses, and they have to get a bunch of threes now. Although I don't know if they're in the bonus or not, are they? The officials are talking about right now.
Well, the scoreboard says they are. There's Oslickson showing his versatility. One reason why he was Conference Player of the Year. You know, his dad played right here at the Fieldhouse for the University of Wisconsin after starring at Marshfield High School.
Yes, he did, and his dad also
full circle, father and son.
There you go. And his dad also was the assistant coach of Coach Buss up in Green Bay for a number of years.
Dahmer knocks it down. Class valedictorian, as we said, also the captain of the soccer and golf teams. The Sheboygan North golf team was the state champs last year. So he'll be back out on the links come the spring.
Quite a combination. Soccer, golf, and basketball. That's fun.
Well, when I play golf, sometimes it starts to look like soccer as I kick clubs and balls around.
You got to learn to have a little more patience then.
Yeah, well, that's what they keep telling me. It's a 19-point lead for Sheboygan North. 1:40 to go here. This is our first Division I quarterfinal game. The winner of this game, which right now looks like Sheboygan North, will take on the winner of our next game. It'll be Glendale Nicolay against Racine Case.
Right. Now we have foul in the shot here. Or was it? No. Before the shot, I guess, on a screen. I'd like to just take this opportunity right now. We have a young man back in Eau Claire by the name of Brad Anderson, our center, who had major reconstructive knee surgery today. He's in the hospital. He's watching WI telecast, and we just like to say hi to Brad and wish him all the luck in the world. And it's going to be 6 to 7 months, but hang in there, and I'm glad everything went fine for you.
All right. Brad Anderson, we wish you well. First free throw for Lance Alt. Knocks it in. 13 points for Alt.
He's averaging about 10 points a ball game right now.
14 points for Alt. So Lance Alt, the senior.
And Van Lanen in the game now for...
Maybe that might be it for Lance Alt in his career, as some guys coming off the bench. Van Lanen comes back in. Nice give and go. But David Richter couldn't convert. Kevin Ohm on the bust out. Caught from behind. But the foul is going to be on David Wick, number 45, who's in the game. Ohm had his sights set on the top side of the rim.
I think so. You know, he's a fine player. He's 6'3", and he got him, and he's lost his balance a little bit. It looked worse than it really was.
Almost taking out our cameraman down there. And Jay seems to be okay. That's right. And back into the game is Dahmer and Schmidt with 1:24 to go here, and North leading by 17.
Kind of wonder about that a little bit there with the guys coming back in. They got to play again tomorrow now. Plus, the worst thing happened is, you know, one of the players get hurt here with 1:24 to 1:23 to go here.
Well, Ohm missed 2 free throws, but a nice hustle play, but couldn't quite come up with the steal. So it'll stay with Sheboygan North.
Yeah, good hustle by Kevin Ohm. Now, that's what here. You know, we can't forget now. You know, Green Bay's still 20-3.
Oh, sure.
It's a great basketball team. And you're down 17 and 1:20 to go, and guys are diving on the floor for loose balls. And
Oslickson picks up the foul. Matt Oslickson.
One thing about Kevin Ohm, he's only a junior. He'll be back next year, and he'll be a nice player to build around and come on back. And of course, Pete McGee's only a sophomore, so of course, Kessler got a couple of fine young basketball players coming back.
Well, now we get Alt back into the game, and Van Lanen goes out, and also back into the game another starter for Sheboygan North, Brad Balco. So all 5 starters for Tom Dusatel are still on the floor. 1:17 to go, and they lead it by 17. As Schmidt goes to the free throw line, the first end of a bonus rattles in and down.
He's been pretty much, I think, the difference, Chris, in the second half. You know, he didn't have a point the first half. I don't know how many he's got right now, but he's got 11. He's got 11 right now, and they're up 18, and he had a couple of steals, and he got the dunk, and sort of ignited the entire basketball team here, especially his averaging 15, and he's a captain, you know, the last couple seasons.
Old tried to leave it for Oslickson, but it was stolen by Dahmer. And then Oslickson fouls him.
One thing we have to give Sheboygan North credit for, too, you know, they struggled a little bit, and the score was 26 to 24 at halftime. It was pretty much where Green Bay East wanted it, but just made their composure, just kept playing, and he got right down to pretty much to the bench depth, and that was it.
Well,
speaking of bench, looks like
Steve Kessley is going to empty his bench. And so coming into the game, 51, Kurt Van Ryzen, 43, Corey Horochov, 21 is Ken Kaminsky, 23, Todd Barra. And did I miss anyone?
I think you got
51, Kurt Van Ryzen. And let's see if we can figure out the North subs. Not many. Richter, who's already been in the game. Ozapowski is in the game, number 41. Balco is still in the game.
Renzelman's still in the game here, 31.
Renzelman. And 41 is Matt Vandenhouten for Green Bay East. That was the one we missed.
There you go.
This is Horochov. 1 minute to go. As Sheboygan North will move back into the semifinals. They were last there, and 2 years ago when they lost to Tulsa East, who was the eventual runner-up to Milwaukee King that year. Three-pointer way off by Kaminsky. He tracks it down. Horochev, his basket won't go. Barra's rebound won't go. Richter fires up a three. Dahmer the rebound and the foul on Todd Barra.
It was nice to get all those Green Bay East get a chance to get in the big floor, you know, whatever. And they play all season long. They practice. Here's a couple more subs coming in.
All right. We'll get on this. 53, Casey Kaminsky. Cousin to Ken Kaminsky, who is in the game. And Ben Kolstad is in, number 13, as is number 15, Jason Harkleroad. And now for Sheboygan North is 15, Sam Pratch. Also coming in 20th, I love this part of the game, Greg Aldrich. And number 11, Eric Wara. All right, Coach, did I miss anybody?
You got about 10 new guys in the game. This play-by-play ought to be pretty good right now.
I think we'll just resort to numbers, and then we'll get you caught up later. Wait, we're going to get one more guy into the game if they hurry. Got to make the free throw there.
Maker.
And he does. So Dahmer makes the free throw, which is going to allow Kevin Zwitter waiting to check in for Sheboygan North, number 4. And there it is. So now Dahmer's 2 free throws allows Zwitter to get into the ball game. And with the score sheet in hand, we are ready to call the last 25 seconds for you.
There we go. There's something kids will never forget. They got a chance playing the Big Ten floor in the state tournament, and they all practice all the time. And
wow, nice pass. Corey Horochov converts.
Nice left-handed move, unless he's left-handed.
And then Richter is fouled. And we get a few more guys. In Matt Miller, number 53, will come in.
A nice size, 6'5" junior.
Sure. So Richter at the line. First point of the game for him.
He's a senior, huh? 6-foot senior.
In and out and in. The lead is 22 with 10 seconds to go.
One thing about Richter, he's all-state in tennis, too. So, again, it plays a lot of different sports.
Now we got a foul before someone tries to imitate Nathan Schremeyer, so it wasn't even close, but it would not have counted.
Let's see who we got.
Now they got the scoreboard corrected, so it's now 65-44, not 65-43. And Casey Kaminsky goes to the line. Casey also a golfer. He's a sophomore.
Well, they've got some good players coming back, too. You know,
And his cousin Ken is a junior, number 21. And that'll do it. The Golden Raiders of Sheboygan North knock off Green Bay East for the 3rd time this season, but this one in the state tournament puts the Golden Raiders in the semifinals, and those will be coming up tomorrow night. So the final score, Sheboygan North wins at 65-44. We'll come back to wrap it up, talk to the winning head coach and all that good stuff after this word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station. The Golden Raiders of Sheboygan North outscore the Red Devils 39-20 in the second half, and they win it rather easily going away. Chris Roth and Pat Hammond back at the field house. Sheboygan North coming in ranked number 1. All that pressure on them. They move on into the semifinals. And right now, let's talk to their head coach, Jay Wilson, standing by to do the honors. Jay?
Thanks, Chris. Tom, as you just said, it's always good to get that first one out of the way. But Green Bay East has played you tough, even though the scores haven't really indicated that at the end.
The last time we played them, it was a 3-point game at halftime, and it was 5 points midway through the 3rd quarter. So that's very right. This Green Bay team has really establish themselves in this Fox River Valley Conference.
One thing that really helped you was that shot at the end of the third quarter. We're going to take a look at it here off the inbound with a second left. Schremeyer doesn't hit a lot of these, does he?
No, that's the first one he hit. In fact, he had our last shot against Wauwatosa East. I didn't want him to get excited at that point because the most important thing is we get off to a good start at the start of the fourth quarter if they got their heads down.
What was the difference in the game that you see?
I think the relentlessness of our team. We told them, don't worry about offense, but be relentless. If you look back, they may be gaining on you. Just keep running.
Is it tough to prepare and keep going at a team 3 times in 1 year?
Well, Green Bay East has lost 4 games this year, and 3 of them were to Sheboygan North. You want to keep them focused because I think the toughest thing to do at anything like this is the expected. You know, it's pretty easy to do something unexpected, but to do it expected in front of a crowd like this becomes very difficult for young people.
Well, to your credit, you and your team were able to come through with a win today. You're into the semifinals. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. We can't get too excited. It's a 3-day tournament, and the only winner is the one that wins all 3. So we have to be ready to go for tomorrow.
There you go. Thanks, Tom, very much. Tom Desatel, the winning coach from Sheboygan North. Now back to Chris Roth.
Well, I think well illustrated there, Coach Pat Hammond, the focus that this team has coming down here. They know they've got a job to do. Ranked number 1 coming in means absolutely nothing. Like he said, you're only a winner if you win 3 down here.
That's right. And yesterday, Coach Desatel told us, he said, we have quickness, we got size, and we got depth. And those 3 things definitely told the story of the basketball game.
Let's take a look back at some of the highlights from the second half as the Golden Raiders really pulled away. Steve Dahmer, not really his range, but able to knock that one down. He did a good job on the boards yesterday and also knocked some free throws. Mark Schmidt had all of his points, yeah.
Here's a steal and a double team, and he got the dunk. That sort of got him going because he was scoreless in the first half.
That's right. He got all his points in the second half. He finished with 12, but a pretty move. One good move deserves another. Lance Alt had a good game for Green Bay East with 14 points. Then Schremeyer, the lob pass from Brad Balco, but as you just saw a moment ago, Nathan Schremeyer will replay this one over and over and over again. That was something else. And here's another look at it.
It's like you said, how many shots can he get off in 1 second? A pass and a shot, and he hit her.
There was 1 second on the clock left in the third quarter when Steve Dahmer inbounded the ball. And again, Lance Alf trying to keep Green Bay East close. The 3-pointer, again, he finished with 14 points. You take a look at the final statistics. They look like this. Green Bay East shooting 46%, North 41%, but they had 17 more shots. Free throw percentage, wow, not good for Green Bay East at all.
A big difference right there. 4 for 14 for 29% versus 81%.
And the turnovers, they cut them down. They only had 17, but that still made quite a difference in the ball game. And the other 2 games against North this year, they had 17 turnovers and 27 turnovers. So taking care of the ball was something they wanted to do. They weren't able to do it well enough, and that pays off in a victory for Sheboygan North. Again, a very focused team, as Tom Desatel said, after the sectional final. As you take a look at the leading scorers, they were driving home for the win in Oshkosh. They celebrated until they got to Fond du Lac. They got off the bus at 11:30 that night, and they went right into a team meeting to prepare for this state tournament. So they look pretty good going into the semifinals.
That's right. You know, again, the number 1 rated team, a lot of pressure on them, but, you know, they're great. They got size, quickness, depth. But let's give Green Bay East a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, they played hard. They got about 6 or 7 kids, 20-3, the first time ever in the state tournament, and nothing to be ashamed of. I know we came down first time in '85, and anybody can make it. This is what you shoot for. The kids play for in the summertime, and Coach Kessley and the Green Bay team should be complimented.
They finished the season 20-4, and again, 3 of those losses coming to Sheboygan North. The Golden Raiders, top-ranked team in Division I, moving on to the semifinals. Coach Pat Hammond, it's been a pleasure. We'll work with you down the road as we continue on with our WIAA Boys State basketball coverage. But after this word, we'll go back to Jay Wilson as we await the start of our next game. This is your WIAA Network station.